Maybe. There we go. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us this evening for our Bells of the Cascades High Impact Concert. It has been a delight to prepare this program, and we are so thankful for all of you for joining us this evening. All the music on the program this evening has to do with some level of impact, whether it be musical impact or personal impact for the ringers, or some other level of impact. So throughout the evening, we hope you enjoy this entire program. The first piece you heard was Festival Song Toots by Kathy Molkobust, who is a big name in the handbell world. And I picked this piece because the song toots has been a staple in music, both secular and sacred, for thousands of years. It has been part of the Mass as part of the service, but also it has influenced secular composers with some of their stuff. So I think Kathy's piece exemplifies the joy of that. The next piece we're going to play is probably one of the top 5 performed handbell pieces of all time. And everybody is doing this piece right now because, unfortunately, Cynthia Dobrinsky passed away in either November or December of last year. And so this is by far her best known piece, and it is just a joy. It's a standard in the handbell world, and a passacaglia is just a repeated ground bass, and so you'll hear this repeated pattern over and over, but with variations over it. And so I hope you enjoy the delightful rondo passacaglia. The next piece we were going to play is called Silk Road. And this piece came from a TV show that talked about the Silk Road. And the Silk Road had a slight impact on trade. Slight. Taking goods from the east to the west was the primary focus of this, and it was amazing to see from this where trading eventually led to and the impact it had on travel and things like that. And this gorgeous, gorgeous arrangement is just, it's so soothing. And this comes from the theme song of this piece. And so I hope you enjoy Silk Road. Now, some of us probably don't have a lot of experience with the Silk Road, but one of the things that we probably all have experienced is love in some capacity, either with a significant other, friends, love of community, love of whatever it might be. And this next piece, Heartscape, was based on the foundation of that. Martha came to me about a year and a half ago and says, hey, I want to commission you to write a piece. I said, great, what for? And she said, in honor of her and her wife's 30 years of love. They've been married for 22 years, but I was told that this year is their 30th year of being in love with each other. And so, Chris. So this is a piece that was composed in honor of that. Now, one of the things that Martha requested was a clarinet part because Chris plays clarinet. And so throughout the piece, you will hear the bells and the clarinet both basically be a voice in this relationship. The clarinet representing Chris and Martha, the bells. Now, Chris has been a long time member of BOC, but is taking some time off from the group. But you'll hear an interplay between the two instruments throughout the piece. And so I hope you enjoy Heartscape, and we are pleased to be joined by Tammy on clarinet. So enjoy Heartscape. the next piece has become a favorite of the ensemble for many reasons. One is just the sheer flawlessness of the arrangement. Alex Giebert is one of the most innovative arrangers and composers of the time, and he takes what you think to be something simple and he makes it complex, but not in a way that's distracting, but more amplifies what is already beautiful writing. The Finlandia tune of Be Still My Soul, we played last year as part of our concert in Phoenix, Arizona, as part of the National Seminar Concert, where we played with Alex Giebert's group, Cathedral Bells. And so we rehearsed for months separated by states, and then we went to Phoenix to perform together, having rehearsed once together when we got there. But from that, it became such an impactful experience for all of us because it created a unity between people that some of us had never even met, and two groups that had never played together, come together to create one powerful concert experience. And this is one of those arrangements that we felt we just really wanted to keep because it's had a personal impact on all of us. And so we hope you enjoy Be Still My Soul. wanted to play one more piece for you before we're going to take a short intermission to give us a little bit of a break here. The next piece we're going to play comes from the Hayao Miyazaki movie, My Neighbor Totoro. How many of you have seen it? Great, okay, good. So the Studio Ghibli films have become one of the staples of high-end animation. It was one of the first, and I think it was the first non-American animated movie to win Best Animated Picture for the Oscars back in the 90s for the movie Spirited Away. There's a lot of other well-known beloved movies, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, and a handful of others. And in all of the movies I just listed, there's one other common thread, and that's Joe Hisaishi, the composer. His writing is, I'd say people attribute him to be the John Williams of Japan for film scoring, because his melody writing is amazing. His music is fun, it's innovative, and this piece is the exact same. So this is the theme from My Neighbor Totoro. Let me give you a very, very quick rundown of the movie in as short as I can possibly do that. Actually, hi Garrett, I forgot you were going to talk first.
You need to finish your thing.
Okay, great. I run on automatic pilot sometimes. The movie is basically, at the gist of it, it's about childhood imagination and letting your children have that imagination. The two young sisters, their mother is in the hospital, and so their father is working, but trying to raise them while still taking the children to see their mother and everything. And so it's kind of the children working through these complications. The movie is super lighthearted, the whole movie. There's like zero conflict, and it's great. So if you want a good hour and a half, go home and watch it. But these children, they find what are called Totoro, which are basically imaginary friends. And they're these large... Cam, can you go to the next slide really quick? It's kind of blurry because of this thing, but it's the big thing back there. It's like a big bunny, basically. But she finds this, and she tells her sister, and then eventually her father. And the great thing is, the parents just let them have the imagination and work through it. And so it's just a delightful, lighthearted movie. And so after Garrett talks, I hope you enjoy My Neighbor Totoro.
Hello, everyone. Just a few more moments to build up the anticipation before this next piece. So first of all, good evening. Good evening. Oh, we can do a little better than that. Good evening. Good evening, folks. Hello, thank you, and welcome to the Bells of the Cascades Spring Concert High Impact. My name is Garrett Bond. I'm currently serving as the president for the board of directors for this wonderful ensemble, and I'm going to talk to you about a few things in your program. So if you would kindly take out your program. As you're taking out your program, special thanks, as always, to the wonderful people here at Salmon Creek for their continued generosity and for allowing us into this wonderful space. We've been here for who knows how many years, more so than I've been around, but we always do appreciate their hospitality here. So if you'll turn to your programs, please, and go to the pages as upcoming events. There's a few events we, as an organization, would like you all to be aware of. The first event we have up and coming is this coming August. After this will be, this is our final concert of this season, but in August we'll do a bit of a pre-season before we move on to our next full season. So the Read and Ring happens on August 13th, 2022. It is a full day of ringing, whether you are a bell director, a bell ringer, or just an avid bell music enthusiast. We encourage you to come down to our venue, to our space, to our home, and to ring and discover some new music with us, and hopefully you all will find something that you can take home with yourselves to show your bell director or your friends or your neighbors, stick it up in the refrigerator. Whatever you would like to do with it that brings you joy, we hope you'll come and join us. Looking a bit farther down on that page, our holiday concerts. We already have our next season's concerts planned for the coming winter. The holiday concerts are always a personal favorite on bells for me. Saturday, December 18th and December 17th and Sunday, December 18th at Forest Grove United Methodist and back here at Salmon Creek on the evening of the 18th. We really do hope that you will join us for those as well. The final event is our Spring Handbell Festival, which is taking place on February 11th. This is a mass gathering of ringers where we gather ringers from all over the area and we perform. We rehearse all day with a wonderful clinician. This year our clinician is Brian Seaman, who is in Virginia, yes. So we'll be coming. So I hope if you are a bell ringer or if you are a member of an ensemble or something, that you will consider joining us for a phenomenal day of ringing. And then, of course, our spring concert will be announced very soon at the beginning of next season. So if you now will turn with me to the next page, a little insert that you find in your program. We are very, very elated to announce that this season we have been able to name our very first season sponsors. The season sponsors for the Bells of the Cascades are an individual or individuals who truly believe in our mission here as a nonprofit organization and who are lovers of music and avid supporters of the arts. I am a little bit biased to this year's season sponsors because they are my parents. And so they've come up from Southern Oregon for this concert series. So if you want to come back tomorrow, you will have the pleasure of meeting them. And they bring me great joy, knowing that they support what I do and what all of us do here as well. On the other side of that page, you will see the list of all of our sponsors and donors and supporters of our organization. As a nonprofit organization, we really do thrive on the generosity and kindness of our patrons and our donors who really believe in the mission that we have. For the people who behind me believe in ringing, they believe in music, and of course you all believe in music making and believe in what we do because you all are here. So of course the last few years have been difficult for folks, but if you are in a place where you feel generous and are kind enough to support this ensemble, or even just having your friends know more about us, please do consider us in your givings and in your thoughts. We are also tax deductible, so we love that. We love tax deductions. So please find more information at bellsofthecascades.org/donate. And we thank you all for your kindness and even just for being here. Just out of curiosity, how many of you, this is your first concert with us with the Bells of the Cascades? Woo, round of applause for new folks. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for being here. How many of you, this is not your first concert here at the Bells of the Cascades? The rest of you, how phenomenal. Hopefully everyone behind me also raised their hand. Oh, that's wonderful. One of the things we are doing in terms of our community outreach, last thing I'll say, then I'll run away, I promise, is we are looking to expand our abilities as an ensemble and to expand our community outreach and also our educational outreach. One of the projects we're working on currently, who has the F2? Jim, would you hold up the F2 very carefully? So that very large bell that man is holding, hello Jim, everyone say hi Jim. Hi. He's holding an F2, which weighs what, like 12, 16 pounds? 16 pounds. Jim, want to give it a ring for us? Oh, how about that, folks? Don't get that type of action at the Organ Symphony. So we are right now we are currently renting this instrument, and we are hoping to fundraise to be able to buy it. One of the first ensembles really in the nation to be able to own this wide of a range of bells and whatnot. So this bell costs about $4,000, and we currently have allocated and raised about $2,000 of that. So we're about halfway to our goal. So if the Spirit moves you to help us achieve that goal, we would be incredibly appreciative. And any little amount helps us get there. So enough of me talking. You came here to hear bells, not to hear me speak. But we appreciate you all being here. We hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you soon.
So the next piece we're going to play back in about 10 minutes. The next piece is a rather unique one for the instrument, and it's called Impression on Totality. It's one of the second or the third pieces of Alex Giebert's that we're going to do, and it is based on the total solar eclipse that happened in August 2017. And I just want to read you Alex's program note, because I think Alex explains it better than anyone else. Have you ever had the lucky opportunity to see a total solar eclipse? If so, you remember the journey to the destination, the anticipation, Watching, through special shaded glasses, the moon begin to block the edge of the sun, the hours-long wait for it to completely cover the sun. Shortly before it happens, alien shadows begin to sweep across the landscape. The period of totality, when the moon is completely eclipsing the sun, is only a minute or two long and is safe to watch with the naked eye. It's an eerie twilight silence. It feels like an instant, and it feels like an eternity. The delicate shimmer of the sun's corona glows behind the disk of the moon. If you're lucky, you might see red-orange flares flicking around the sides. Suddenly, a shimmering flash causes you to squint. It is a point of light where the sun breaks past the shadow, illuminating the circle, a heavenly diamond ring. You put your shaded glasses back on now to see the crescent sun emerging. The rhythm of the spheres continues, and you walk away feeling changed and privileged to have witnessed this beauty of its convergence. So this is impression on totality. like I said, Alex is innovative. What we were doing in that, Cindy, before you walk too far away, we're literally just taking violin and cello bows and running it along a chime. And you can do it on like a vibraphone or other things, and it creates a really unique resonance to it. And it really, I think, amplifies that eerie effect like Alex was talking about at the moment of the eclipse. And so I'm always fascinated by Alex's writing. The next piece we're going to do is another commission and world premiere from Elisa this time. Back in 2019, I think, Elisa came to me and wanted to commission me for a second piece that she had commissioned from me. The first piece that she commissioned was a piece for her mother called Reverberations, and her run requirement for that piece was just make mom cry. So the second commission was just as long, and she said, write something you love. Now, as a composer, that's the best commission you could possibly get, where someone just goes, I don't know, write something. So this piece came out of my love of music, but also my love of hiking. I really love being outdoors. I grew up in Colorado, and so we had mountains 20 minutes from me if I wanted to, and really here we're not too different. And so as I was looking for inspiration to write this piece, I came across the writing of John Muir. Now, John Muir was a Scottish-American naturalist and who is often referred to as the father of national parks. And so he would frequently take note of his experiences in outdoors and write down what he felt. And his writing is incredibly evocative to where you feel like you are there in the moment. And so a couple of the writings that he did inspired this piece. Only in the roar of storms do these mighty solitudes being the trees, find voice at all commensurate with their grandeur. The pines at the approach of storms show eager expectancy, bowing, swishing, tossing the branches with eager gestures, roaring like lions about to be fed, standing bent and round-shouldered like sentinels exposed. Moments of calm. Here is calm so deep, grasses cease waving. Wonderful how completely everything in nature fits into us as if truly a part and parent of us. The sun shines not on us, but in us. Rivers flow not past, but through us, thrilling, tingling, vibrating every fiber and cell of the substance of our bodies, making them glide and sing. The trees wave and the flowers bloom in our bodies as well as our souls, and every bird song, wind song, and tremendous storm song of the rocks in the heart of the mountains is our song, our very own, and sings of our love. This piece, called Roar Storms, is not about a storm of water and rain, but of wind. John Muir decided that one day, when there was a massive windstorm, he thought it to be smart to experience it to its fullest, to climb to the top of the tallest tree. As we all do, of course. And so throughout this piece, you'll hear these moments of a flash of wind and light, and you'll hear the swishing of the trees and moments of calm in the roar of storms. We are pleased to have Garrett join us on piano for this one. So this is the Roar of Storms. The next piece, Voices, talks about the impact of what our voice is. Sometimes we forget about the impact of what our voice has on those around us, but also how we can use our voice to create a positive change. Karen Buckwalter wrote a poem called Voices in July of 2020 in the midst of all the protests and then in the midst of COVID and all these things that just kept happening one after another. And she wrote a poem and then a piece after that that discussed the idea of creating a sense of community, going from something as small as one voice. Because to create a community, you need to start with one, and then from there it evolves. And so I'll just read the poem that she wrote. Do you hear the voice of one alone, a small voice that sighs within? Do you hear the cries of voices two who brave the stiff, strong winds? Do you hear the vows of friend and foe joining hearts as love begins? Do you hear the voice, sore oppressed, struggling still for freedom's breath? Do you hear the empty promise of change that's not addressed? Do you hear the prayers of young and old, dreaming visions new and fresh? May you listen to the voices, whether one or two or more. May you listen to the wisdom of those who've gone before. May you listen to the voice of one who welcomes and transforms. I think Karen's poem speaks to the timeliness of everything that our country and our world is going through, with the shootings, with the injustice of those who constantly have their voices taken. And I think it is our responsibility as people to remember to listen. We have a voice, but how you use your voice and then how you listen to others' voices as well creates a huge impact. So I hope you enjoy Voices. We have one last piece for you this evening, and it is a complete change from the last 3 pieces we've played. It is Alex Giebert's Drive. Now, this is not driving like a car, but more motivational drive, or the drive for success. Drive, meaning just go forward. And I think that this group exemplifies that in everything it does. It has been around for 33? Debbie, how long has the group been around? How many years has the group been around? 33, great, 33 years. I have not been here for that long, so I don't know. But this group has continued to just move forward, pushing beyond what normal handbell ringing is like. And I think that it has been so exciting to see what we've been able to do as an ensemble. And I think Alex's piece just showcases that so well. I'd like to take a couple thank yous before we go this evening. The first one being for Salmon Creek here. It is, as Garrett said, always a pleasure to play here. Working here is so loving. So I just love combining all these worlds together. I want to thank the media team for helping this evening of Cam, Glenn, and Juan. Thank you for operating the slides and sound and everything. Thank you to Jim and Tom for helping coordinate and the trailer moving and things like that. It's kind of hard to carry the stuff around, so we have a big trailer that put it all on. Thank you for those, Brenda and Liz and others who were helping usher and take tickets. Thank you to Tammy, who she had to run, unfortunately, but for playing clarinet. And thank you all so much for your support. Again, we rehearse for weeks and months on end to a wall, mostly. So having people to play for is always so appreciated. So thank you for your continued support. Always, we just adore having it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We do hope that you'll be able to come back for our fall concerts. If you really loved what you heard tonight and you want to hear it again, come tomorrow. It's about 25 minutes south, not even that from here. But we'd love to see you again for this concert if you would like. But thank you all so much. If you have any questions at the end of the concert or want to come talk to any of us, please do. We'd love to answer any questions. But thank you, and we hope you have a great evening. This is Drive.